Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another exciting episode of HLwow! HLwow! The first episode of this actually did pretty well, so I'm going to do another couple episodes. Like I said before, just hit a like, leave a comment, let me know that you kind of are enjoying this. It's not, I don't consider, like I said before, I'm not really considering this a speedrun simply because of all the shortcuts, cheats that I'm using, like using an emulator is the main one, and also all the safety strats I'm using. But so it's not really speedrun, but I am showing you guys a lot of cool glitches, and if you want to get into speedrunning, check out the last video. I left a bunch of links to some really good streamers of this game. Also, you don't normally pick up that Heart Plus down there under the bridge, but because I've been getting into a lot of unnecessary fights and I'm kind of behind on money, I just pick it up. That way I know for a fact that I have enough money to buy the things I need. Also, these red guys, they suck. Look how fast they go. Oh, man, you suck. It's not too bad. I don't have any money anyway. It's just a time loss. And we just want to get the power bounce. The power bounce is really broken if you're good at this game, simply because you can almost infinitely jump on any enemy. Because you have to... Basically, what it does is, every time you jump on an enemy, you have a chance to jump on him again if you hit him right before you land on him. And normally, you have 10 frames to jump again before you land on him. No, I didn't want to read it. But with the power bounce, you can continually do that until you mess up. The only catch is that the frames that you need to continue it goes down by 1 each time you get a successful one. Also, there's another stipulation where most bosses actually have a limit to how many times you can repeat that. As you'll see during the hooktail fight at the end of this. You can only do it on most bosses about 9 times. Even though it would still be 2 frames or 1 frame to do it, it just says, no, you missed it. Even though a lot of times, that confused me so much when I was really speedrunning it, because I know I could do it on the perfect frame. Because I could do it on any other enemy, but as soon as I fought the frickin' hooktail boss, no, you missed it. Oh well. So now I know, but this fight right here was actually really difficult when I was casually playing this, because all of those skeletons technically have 1 defense, meaning my jumps do no damage to them. So you have to individually... the power bounce is basically useless then, meaning that you can't kill that skeleton man in 1 hit, in 1 turn. So, to fix that, we just use one of those nifty fire flowers that I picked up earlier. Also, the only real glitch that I'm going to be showing off, and I probably won't even get it, after one of the scripted fights... Oh, I missed... Oh, no, I got it. Nope. I let go too early. One of these scripted fights, you can get a glitch called the speed glitch. I know, pretty generic. After you run away from an enemy, you get a speed boost and invincibility frames. I can't believe I fucked that up. And if you hit A right as soon as you leave the battle, right before you enter back into the overworld, you hit A on the very first frame you can. That invincibility and the speed boost will last until you enter a new room. And you can manipulate that because it actually gives you just enough speed. Alright, I gotta line this actually up. Alright. There's a key underneath me right now I'm trying to get. It'll save me. Yeah, there we go. You're not supposed to be, obviously not supposed to be able to jump down here, but you're supposed to hit that switch, and then it saves about a minute or so. And you have enough speed. I'm sorry, I keep getting off topic, but you have enough speed to just go through locked doors. You can just run right through the lock, kind of clip through them, and then just open the door naturally. Pretty fun. Oh no, not a flying Goomba. Oh, I actually don't want to get in a fight with him. I think I may have just trapped myself. Oh, duh. Oh, let's just hit a switch when I have coops. Yay. Like I said, I haven't run this game in a while. I was supposed to do a practice run today. You know, this episode, I was going to practice it a couple times to make sure I didn't look like an idiot. I forgot. So it's pretty late now, and I don't really have time to do it. So you're gonna get what you get. Suck it. So I don't mean that. I love you guys. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh no. No, it's a dead end. I only have 45 seconds. Is it this way? I don't know. That room right, or this room right here. Oh my god. Is unnecessarily annoying. I don't think anybody has ever gotten lost in that maze for longer than 20 seconds. Even casually playing. You need, like I said, at most 20 seconds. It gives you 60 seconds to go through that room. Sometimes I stay up at night wondering, man, how do I get through that room every single time without fail? RNG, man. RNG. I got your damn key. I did not hit B. You liar. Oh no, you tricked me. You're gonna give me a curse / superpower. Hold on now. I'm holding it. Cool. Yes. Yes. You know, when I was casually playing this for the first time as an adult, I couldn't help but think Mario really is kind of like Superman in this game. And here's what I mean by that. I know it sounds weird, but whenever you come into an obstacle you can't get past, rather than having to solve a puzzle or logic to get around it, the game just gives you a new power. Here you go. You can solve all your problems with this now. Thanks, game. Thanks for cheating. And I love it. Whee! I believe... Oh no, I forgot to get the key. Actually, I did forget to get the key, and that's not even a joke. That's embarrassing. Whee! Avoid that guy and that guy, because I don't remember which ones wake up. After you... I got the attack FSR. Oh, I need to gear... No, badges. And equip this one. Which, if you read the letter, which I accidentally did, but if you read the letter that you got when you first entered this dungeon, it basically said that the only weakness Hooktail has is to the sound of crickets, I believe, or maybe it was more like a puzzle, but that badge right there, the attack FXR, which has 0 BP, so why not equip it anyway? Backtrack to Redbone's room and get the castle key, right. Basically, yeah, the letter tells you that his only weakness is, You just stopped right before you got me? His only weakness is crickets. But how are you going to use crickets against a giant dragon? Well, the sound effects actually makes your attacks sound like crickets, which I find hilarious. But without it, I mean, you can still do the fight, but I believe you do double damage to him if you do have it, or maybe it just lowers his defense. I'm not entirely sure. All I know is that even casually, you definitely want to have that on. It just makes the fight a lot easier. And Hooktail's actually one of the hardest bosses because we don't have Danger Mario yet. And as you'll see later, Danger Mario is broken. Backtrack to the room to get the castle key. I did that. Go back to the save block, big green block room. Alright, that's what I was doing. Sorry, I just don't want to make any more mistakes for you guys. I feel so embarrassed when I make a mistake. I feel like such a pleb. Also, I keep forgetting the professor's following us, but if he gets stuck on anything, unlike a regular companion, he will just stay there and never show up until you enter a new room, and then he magically does. This right here. Oh, no, not this one. The next bridge, I'll point it out then. I won't tell you now. This right here. You can actually jump into that window from here, but it's basically a frame perfect jump. You have to jump as soon as you're about to fall, and you can make it into the window and then just go around like this. But if you don't make it, it loses about 30 seconds because basically you're back in the first room, and you don't want to have to redo all that. So I'm just not even going to attempt it, but you know it's there. The blah blah blah. Yeah. Use coops. Whee! Up we go again. Lots of elevators. I mean, it's a castle. How else are you gonna go up? This guy. Come on. Okay. Oh no, you're confused. The undead are actually pretty easy to avoid. Although the red Koopas, especially the flying Koopas, are almost impossible to avoid. In this level, there's about 3 red Koopas right next to each other on a very thin bridge. And I'll probably most definitely get into a fight with at least one of them. And unfortunately, if you get into a fight with one of them, you're going to take damage because they usually hit first. Castle key. Alright, so right here is the skip I was telling you about. So this fight is actually unavoidable because Mario goes so far out of doors that they put the undead right there, right where you would end up. So you have to fight him. And if I hit A on the first frame, which I don't think I did because you wouldn't jump, but if you did, you basically would when you're flashing, that would last until I enter this room right here, and it would allow me to skip that lock right there, and I could save my key. It saves about a minute or so, because the next key isn't really too far out of the way, but it does, having an extra key always helps. So you can do that on almost any locked door. Unfortunately, it's actually a lot harder on other fights. For some reason, when you fight the undead, I believe it's 2 frames you can do the jump, or not the jump, but tapping A. While with most fights, it's absolutely frame perfect. This guy will not leave me alone. Okay, go back to sleep. Go back to sleep. Go back to sleep. You son of a bitch. Yeah, I hit him. Run away. That's fine. It only cost me 30 seconds of my life. If he's standing in the way of Koops when I let him go, I'm going to be very upset. Okay. Even if he's laying down and you hit him, Koops will still initiate a fight with him, no matter how far away you are. Hit the second on the window. On the way up to the next room, you Koops to get the light, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Alright. I actually missed a life shroom, but it's so far back, I'm not going to go back and get it. You're supposed to get a life shroom on the way up in one of the rooms, but I didn't read ahead far enough, and I completely forgot about it. Which really sucks. I don't remember where it is. I don't care. I'll just have to buy another one. So, good thing I'm picking up extra badges. Blah, blah, blah. Speed Ridge, lower the blah. To get the castle key, climb the stairs, and unlock the door. Oh, I believe I have to go down to get this. Boop. Yes, I do. There we go. So, like I said, I mean, if you would have skipped that door, the only thing you would have made up for is not having to go down to get that key right there. So you didn't really save too much time, and it is a really difficult trick. But right here is the bridge I was telling you about. So there are, I believe, 3 red Koopas all on this bridge, and they are all super fast. I guess there's only 2. I lied to you. My bad. So this fight, like I said before, this hooktail fight, because we're so underleveled, is one of the most difficult fights in the game. I will be taking a safety strat and prolonging the fight a little bit, but if I don't do that, I almost jumped on his head. If I don't do that, I'll basically be losing half my health for no reason. It's not that big of a time law, or it's not that big of a deal if you do everything perfectly, but I'm probably not. Power bounce is on, so I'm actually, I'm going to save. I'm going to use the save state. I'm going to cheat, whatever. There's a save block right there, so I don't really care. I do what I want. Yay, time to fight him. Where'd you come from? Professor Frankly is just watching. he breaks the fourth wall so hard. He's staring directly at you the entire time. I know he's not supposed to be there, but it's still kind of weird, creepy. Oh no. You didn't expect people to come here. How could you? Well, then you should have been prepared. I kind of talked about this a little bit before, but the power bounce. You can infinitely jump on an enemy as long as you hit them at the exact right before you land on them, getting stricter and stricter all the way down to 1 frame. So I'm gonna try. You're supposed to be able to maximum you're supposed to get is maximum you can get is 9. They expect you to get 9. I'll probably get 5 if I don't mess up. If I mess this up too bad, I won't be able to beat him. So fingers crossed. 5, damn it, that sucks. I was hoping to get at least 7. That would. All right. Shell toss. Push comes to shove. I believe I still have a mushroom that I picked up for safety. So let's see. Yeah, I do have a mushroom for safety, so that's not too bad of a loss. Guard the hooktail fire and power bounce for 8. 3. I am bad. Alright, let's hope this doesn't. Yeah, okay. You usually don't see that attack in a standard speedrun, just because he doesn't get to use it. How much do I have? 3. I have to do normal jumps. So what I was at 8. So 5 and 3 is 8. I need to be doing 6 damage in this turn. I have to use it. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I think I got it. That should initiate the next wave. No, it doesn't. I'm bad. This is probably going to have to be a restart, just because I messed up so bad. You're supposed to get 9, and I only got like 5 and 3. So, this is the second phase. In a regular speedrun, you would say yes to the very first one. It would cost you 5 health. I'm going to try it. Why not? If you say no to all of them, he actually bites the toads in the crowd and will heal himself back up. So. Oh, he still does. Well, I'm glad I was proven wrong again. I don't know why I accepted the first dialogue. Maybe just to save a couple frames? I always thought he didn't heal if you did that. Blurp. Koopa's pretty fun. Most attacks usually cost a couple seconds to perform. Like Mario's hammer, it takes about 3 seconds for it to fully charge. Koops, if you immediately hold left and then immediately release, or if you tap left and then immediately release, you'll actually do his attack instantly. Like that. Whereas normally you would have to wait for it to go all the way around. I fought this boss so many times. I'm pretty good at dodging. That fire hitbox is pretty awkward. So, oh, I beat him? Oh, okay, cool. So I didn't have to restart, but I did lose a lot of time on that fight. Let's see. Alright, so we're only at about 19 minutes, which is pretty bad for Hooktail's Castle. You usually want to be under 15, just to be average, I guess. So 19 sucks, but honestly I lost a lot of time not really knowing where I was going, and that fight took an extra minute and a half that it shouldn't have. But coming up is probably my second favorite glitch in the entire game, and I don't have to do anything for it. If you guys remember, I never went to the 1,000-year door in the first place. Or, as soon as I got to show it the map to tell me that the Crystal Star was actually at Hooktail's Castle. So, I had Frankly, who was following me, to help to show me where the 1,000-year door is in the first place. And because I never went there, he never stopped following me. So in the game's mind, I'm still looking for the 1,000-year door. And because he's not supposed to be another companion, and he's always following you, he's also going to follow you... Oh, okay. Continue without saving. I thought it would skip that dialogue. Because he's always supposed to be following you, he's also going to follow you on other NPCs, or I guess partial playable characters, like Peach in this instance. And yeah, so as you see, he's in the X-Naut base, just kind of being a spy. Nobody really notices him. I'm pretty sure it's because he's a Goomba and they don't want to be, you know, Goombas. We don't like Goombas around here. We only like people in red and white. We only like Christmas people and robots, apparently. I'm not really sure what the X-Nauts are. My theory is they are Goombas who just have a big costume on, but who knows what they actually are. So they're just talking about how the X-Nauts are actually trying to open the door, and in order to do that, they need to gather all the crystal stars. And they just found out that some guy named Mario grabbed the first one, or grabbed one of the ones they were looking for. So curious, who is this man? You rang, dude? Oh, this actually also introduces my favorite character in the entire game, Vivian, who, she's the one on the far left in the pink. Well, I guess they're all pink and purple, but she's in the pink hat. She's a really cool character. She's got a lot of... She's got damage over time attacks, which help out a lot in fights, but also her character... I don't know, I kind of relate to it, you know? Sisters being mean to you, putting you down, making you feel like a subpar person. Reminds me of my friends in the HLwow group, putting me down, stuff like that. Anyway, back to this. Professor Grumpy, frankly, is still following me. And leave immediate... Oh, no. Actually, so here it is. She wants to take a shower. She's been feeling bad. Oh, well, let's see if it works. Peach, what are you doing? Peach, no! There's somebody there! What are you doing? You... How could you? I thought you and Mario had a thing. And it's not like he's hiding. The curtain only covers one half of it. He's on the other side. And you know, he's just watching the whole thing. It might look like he's hiding underneath the tub, just be shy a little bit, but he's watching. Oh, he's watching. Yeah, all prettied up. You smile. You disgust me. Oh no, who opened the door? What was that? Nobody's there. Professor, do you know? I don't know. Wait, who are you? I haven't met you yet. Tech is another pretty cool... There's so many really nice characters. If you play this game casually, you know what I'm talking about. I'm just skipping all their dialogue, but... Tech gives some pretty cool, like, insight into what if computers could think, like AI, you know. If they could think for themselves, how would they act? You know, how do they study human emotion? Nintendo did a really nice job just kind of playing on that idea of computers being able to think and talk. So, please, please. I'm heading as fast as I can, guys. But this cutscene takes forever. Well, it's not even a cutscene. Standing around and text boxes appearing. It's not a cutscene, in my opinion. But I'd rather have this than Final Fantasy XIV with its movie cutscenes. Play for 5 minutes, get a movie. After this, we're going back to... We're actually going to visit the 1,000-year door for the first time. So we're unfortunately going to lose, frankly. Princess, how could you leave him in there? Who is with the deadly robot? You don't know that guy. No, I did not hit A. I know you couldn't save it because there's no memory card. We're at 24 minutes, and this cutscene takes a couple minutes, so unfortunately I don't think we're going to be able to get to Bogley Woods, I will go to Bogley Woods, but I'm not going to be able to show you any of the glitches in Bogley Woods. There are a couple, nothing game breaking, like the blooper skip that I showed you, where you spawned in the middle, but it's not bad. All right. Also, frankly, still following Bowser. He goes from the X-Naut to the Bowser. Man, I don't trust this guy anymore. He started giving me some information in the beginning, but now all of a sudden he's working for Bowser and the X-Nauts. Who is this guy? Some kind of spy? I don't know. But it actually gives this. All joking aside, though, this actually does get some pretty interesting insight about how they handle cutscenes. They don't just have like pre-rendered cutscenes like the original Paper Mario or most RPGs. There's kind of just a movie file that they're playing. This actually has the character models moving around, and the reason you know that is just because, frankly, wouldn't appear if this were a pre-rendered cutscene with flat images, just a movie. Why would he? So, pretty interesting that they actually programmed it dynamically, basically made it in the game engine. This right here, for whatever reason, when they interact with the background, or like I said in the last one, when the bridge was spawning, it drops the frame rate from a solid 30 I think it's actually 60, no, it's 30 frames a second, naturally. It drops it down to about, actually, no, it drops it down to about 5. And that makes this game take significantly longer if you're emulating. Which is why you don't emulate it while you're speedrunning. But I don't have a choice. Oh, there were a couple questions that I had. So I'll answer those while we're doing this cutscene. Probably should have been talking about this sooner. But so I'm doing a route. I'm doing an any percent run, and I don't know if I explained this or not. Any percent basically means from the moment you start the game, as in when I named my save file and hit OK, to the only goal is to get to the credits at the end of the game. So no matter what you do in between there, the run doesn't end until you get to the credits. So all glitches are okay. And I got stuck on a wall. I'm bad. I ain't got no money. You ain't gonna get shit from fighting me. There are a couple other routes that I have never tried before. Obviously, there's the Japanese any percent, but for the text that I do see, I enjoy it being in English. This is what I played as a kid. That's why I like running. So normally you would play Japanese simply because the text scrolls faster because they use less characters. The other percents, I believe, are all stars, and I don't believe anybody actually plays 100%. Also, this pipe came out of nowhere. Yeah, all stars literally just means that you have to get all the crystal stars, and 100% means you have to get every single shine sprite and crystal shard, I believe they're called. The little shards that you've been seeing in the background that I haven't been getting. Awesome, I got that. Which, the difference between Japanese any percent, which is a 4.5 hour run, and 100% is almost 10 hours. I believe. I don't quote me on that. You can look it up yourself if you're interested. But it's about 10 hours because there's so much more you actually have to do. Where and any percent is obviously the fastest. All Stars is only about 2 more hours. It's almost the same route, except there's a lot of similar glitches, and the route's pretty much the same. The only difference really being is you will finish more levels because you have to, obviously. But in this one, we'll be entering almost every level, but more likely than not, we're just there to get a badge or an item. Or a follower, because followers are actually pretty useful. They have effects in battle and outside of battle, which is pretty cool. I think. Goombella, no, she doesn't. Screw Goombella. Oh, I tell you about this room. You see, she's like a bad DM. Whenever you use her and you activate her ability, like Koops, you know, you stomp on him and he hits switches and he hits enemies and he stomps on shit. Goombella? She just tells you about a room. She's a bad DM. She's like, you see moist rocks and a small dark room. Thanks. I do have a screen. I know what I see. Thank you, Goombella. Even as a kid, she didn't... I would be stuck on something, and her whole purpose is to give you hints so you don't get stuck. But I never found any of her quote-unquote hints to be helpful in any way. Basically, all she would do is say... For example, there's a puzzle, there's a quote-unquote puzzle later on, where you have to go into all the rooms and fight a bunch of enemies. And it basically lights up a lamp in the main room that connects them all. Kind of like a Legend of Zelda, kill all the enemies, clear the rooms. And I didn't know what to do because most of the rooms are locked except for one, and you have to do something. I don't know why I clicked on that. I just could not figure out how to get to the first room. So, why is he still following me? I don't remember. I thought I got rid of him. Okay, whatever. So, head back to the room, and then we go to the Boggly Woods. Alright. She would just be like, I think there's something to do with these torches. Maybe this room has something to do with it? And it would be the room that you're standing in. Of course the room has something to do with it. Goombella. Here, I'll even show you. Here. In this room right here, I'll switch over to Goombella. And you hit X. We're down below Rogueport. I think it's just your basic garden variety corridor. This must have been a nice walk when the whole town was above ground. Thanks. Thanks. If I was lost and I couldn't remember how to get to the 1,000-year door and she told me that, I would be pissed. I'm going to hit that just so I don't keep landing on it. So now we're just going to go through here and go into Boggly Woods. Yes, Frankly did mention that. Frankly, did you mention that? He's right there, man. You can't talk about it in the third person like you're not even there. That's rude, man. You can't do that shit. Come here, you puny. Ah. If you hit B right before that cutscene initiates, you'll just be standing with your hammer on the ground the entire cutscene's pretty funny, but I missed it. Yeah, tap A quickly to not die as fast. Alright, and then choose the top tile, talk to the puny to the right. Alright. I believe this is the last world, chapter, dungeon, whatever, that we get into the way you're supposed to get into it. After this, there is a pretty significant glitch that allows you to get into almost any level, meaning that the route really opens up, and that's where people customize their own routes. Because, like... What was that? Why was he jumping like that? You can customize your own routes, do the worlds in your own preferred order, and that's why a lot of people run this game, is because after that glitch was found, the game opened up, and people loved that about speedruns, where you're not always following a set thing. Like Donkey Kong Country, I think I speedrun that a couple times. I got not even okay at it, but you always did the exact same inputs at the exact same time. So if you took a log of all of my inputs from both games, 2 different runs, they would be almost identical. Where in this game, I could just do so much different shit. But anyway, as I said before, just leave a like if you guys are enjoying this. Really only one funny glitch, but I hope you guys enjoyed that one. And if you want me to keep going on this, I'm going to wait to record any more of these until I get your feedback, see how many of you guys are actually watching this through. And if you guys enjoy it, like I said, let me know. And until then, I will see you guys tomorrow for another exciting episode of HLwow. Bye, guys.